The story of Adam and Eve is a foundational narrative from the book of Genesis in the Bible, often regarded as the beginning of humanity's journey. It tells of the first man, Adam, created by God from the dust of the earth, and the first woman, Eve, fashioned from Adam's rib to be his companion. Set in the idyllic Garden of Eden, this tale explores themes of innocence, temptation, and the profound consequences of disobedience. As Adam and Eve encounter the serpent and the forbidden fruit, their choices lead to the fall from grace, forever altering the course of human history. This timeless story raises questions about free will, morality, and the nature of humanity, making it a powerful and enduring part of religious and cultural discourse. The creation of Adam and Eve. In the beginning, God created the heavens and earth, and over the course of 6 days, He filled the world with life, plants, animals, seas, stars, and all the wonders of nature. On the sixth day, after creating all other creatures, God formed humankind. He crafted Adam from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and Adam became a living soul. God placed Adam in the beautiful Garden of Eden, a paradise filled with rivers, trees, and every kind of fruit. In this garden, Adam was given dominion over all the animals, and his responsibility was to tend to the garden and take care of it. However, God saw that Adam was alone and said, "It is not good for man to be alone." So he caused Adam to fall into a deep sleep, took one of his ribs, and from that rib, God created a woman, Eve, the first woman. Eve was assigned to be a companion for Adam, and together they were given a task of multiplying and filling the earth. Let's talk about the life in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve lived in a perfect harmony with each other and the world around them. Eden is a place of complete peace, with no pain, suffering, or death. In the center of the garden stood two significant trees, the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God told Adam and Eve they could freely eat from any tree in the garden except for the one, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. He warned them that if they ate from this tree, they would surely die. Adam and Eve lived in innocence, naked and unashamed, because they had no knowledge of evil or guilt. They trusted in God's word and enjoyed the paradise they had been given. Let's talk about the temptation and the fall. One day, a cunning serpent, which was the embodiment of Satan, approached Eve in the garden. The serpent questioned her, saying, "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" Eve explained that they were allowed to eat from any tree except the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for God had warned that they would die if they did. The serpent, however, lied and said, "You will not surely die, for God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be open, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." Eve, enticed by the idea of wisdom and the beauty of the fruit, took some of the fruit and ate it. She then gave some to Adam, who also ate it. At that moment, their eyes were opened and they realized they were naked. For the first time, they felt shame and guilt. They sewed fig leaves together to cover themselves. God's judgment. Later, God walked through the garden in the cool of the day and called out to Adam and Eve. Realizing they were hiding, God asked, "Where are you?" Adam, ashamed, answered that they were hiding because they were naked. God, knowing what had happened, asked, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?" Adam blamed Eve, saying, "The woman you put here with me, she gave me some fruit from the tree and I ate it." Eve, in turn, blamed the serpent, saying, "The serpent deceived me and I ate." God then passed judgment on each of them. To the serpent, he said, "Because you have done this, cursed are you above all livestock and wild animals. You will crawl on your belly and eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel. To Eve he said, I will greatly increase your pains in childbearing. With pain you will give birth to children. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you. To Adam he said, because you listened to your wife and ate from the tree about which I commanded you, you must not eat of it. Cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil you will eat from all the days of your life. It will produce thorns and thistles for you, and you will eat the plant of the field. By the sweat of your brow you will eat your food until you return to the ground, since from it you were taken, for dust you are, and to dust you will return. Talking about exile from Eden, God, seeing that Adam and Eve had become like him in knowing good and evil, decided they must no longer be allowed to live in the Garden of Eden. He feared they might eat from the tree of life and live forever in their fallen state. So he banished them from Eden, and to prevent them from returning, he placed cherubim and a flaming sword that flashed back and forth to guard the way to the tree of life. From that moment on, Adam and Eve began their lives outside the garden. They experienced pain, hardship, and the reality of mortality. They had children, including Cain and Abel, and through their descendants, humanity spread across the earth. Though cast out of paradise, the story of Adam and Eve set the stage for the rest of the biblical narrative, which speaks of humankind's struggle with sin and God's plan for redemption. The legacy of Adam and Eve. The story of Adam and Eve has been interpreted in many ways throughout history, often symbolizing the human condition and our struggle with temptation, morality, and the consequences of our actions. In Christian tradition, this event is known as the Fall, marking the entrance of sin into the world and the beginning of humanity's need for salvation, which would eventually come through Jesus Christ. This tale has not only shaped religious thought, but has also influenced art, literature, philosophy throughout the centuries. It remains a powerful reflection on human nature, choice, and the relationship between God and humankind.